Hey guys, Hussein and welcome to the fourth part of this series. And now that we learn a lot of stuff right here, like how to create users and admins and all of that kind of stuff. So I guess it is the time to work on the home screen right here. Currently, we don't have anything. But before we getting into this video, I want you to do one thing, which I already done because it will take a lot of time and it will just make you bored. Okay, so what I did is that I added a few items, so I'm gonna just click on that and click on the all products right here, and here you can see I've added these few products right here like Apple and this, I don't know, this computer, and for the gym equipments, and also like the shoes, the sofa, I don't know, cameras, sofa once again. And I just add these few items right here. And if you're wondering like where in the world you're going to be getting these images, well, you can just go ahead and first of all, I'm gonna just click on this PC right here, and here you can see I get this image from the unsplash.com. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you that right here. So shout out to this Elia Dons. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name, but shout out to this person. And I'm getting this image from this account right here. So I just quick Google, I mean like not in Google search, but I just search in unsplash.com PC, and here you can see I'm getting a lot of great results right here. So I just click on this download button and I just download that image into my machine. And what I did is that I just click on that button and provide my image, which I downloaded a few seconds ago. And also I provide the name, and this name came from the Amazon. Also the price came from the Amazon, the quantity, the MSI. I mean like it doesn't even matter. You can provide your own quantity, description, anything like that. But in my case, I just go ahead and went to the Amazon and just grab that information for this specific item right here, and I just put it right here. Let me just go back. Not here, let's just go back, and here are all of the items which I added right here. Okay, so you can see the prices, the dates, and also this images and description and everything like that. Okay, so that's then. Now let me just go ahead and go to the create category, and I just create these few categories like camera, sofa, gym, shoes, MacBook, PC right here. So we are going to be playing around with that in a few seconds, but first of all we have to take care of the home right here. So let's just close that. Let me just go ahead and go to the home, and now let's just take care of this home right here. And by the way, I forgot one thing. If you want to use that same images which I'm using right now, so I'm going to give you a link in the description below so you can download all of these images from there. Okay, so here are all of the images which I'm using. Maybe I'm going to add more, but currently when I'm recording this video, I just have these images right here. Okay, so that's them. Let's just go ahead and close all the other tabs. Close other tabs to the right. There we go. The first thing which I want to do is that I want to make sure that everything is running, and it's running totally okay. So now let me just go ahead and go to the components folder, and inside this components folder we are going to be creating a header. Come on. Oh my god, header.jsx. I'm gonna write RAFCE. There we go. Okay, so that's header. I'm gonna save this file and close that. The next thing which I want to do is that I'm gonna go ahead and go to the pages folder, and inside this pages folder we are going to be creating one more folder for the products. So I'm going to write products. There we go. Inside this products folder, I'm going to create one more, or you know what, we're going to be creating all of that files inside there. But what I want to do is that not inside the pages, also not inside this components right here. I'm going to create one file right here inside this src directory, and I'm going to name them like home.jsx right here. And inside this file, I'm going to write RAFCE. And let's just save this file and go ahead and register that inside our main. I'm gonna go ahead at the top, and underneath this login and register, what I want to do is that I want to write my route. First of all, let me just write route, and come on, route. Oh my god, route, and the path will be just this empty string right here. And I'm gonna also provide an index to it. So I'm gonna write index, and index will be set to true in this case. And also the element will be my home component which I just created right here. So home, and hit enter, so it will just auto complete it for me. And now let's just close that. I'm going to save this file, and now let me just check that right here. So let's just refresh, and we cannot see anything. Let's just provide a little bit of border to it, so like class name or border or something like that. Save my file, and there we go. We are now getting this border right here, which means like we are getting the result, but it is hidden behind this navigation right here. So yeah, that's working. Let's just remove this class name from here. And the next thing which I want to do is that I'm going to go ahead and go to the header which I've created right here inside these components, and I'm going to go and import one thing which will be import use get top product query. Okay, so we are going to be getting that from where? Let me just go ahead and go to the Redux. Let's just go one time, go to the Redux folder. Then I want to go to the API, and inside this API, we wanted to go to the products API right here. So I'm going to just click on him, and let me just go to the bottom, and I wanted to get the use get tops product query. I want to make sure that we have that use get tops product. There we go. So I'm going to copy that. Now let me just place it right here. So I'm going to just save this file. So the next thing which you want to do is that we want to check the data which is inside this use get top products query. So we are going to be getting the data is loading and also the error if we have one. So I am going to just set that to use get top products query, and now let me just log that to the console data. I'm going to save this file and go ahead and right click on him and go to the inspect element. Let me just check that right in here. Let's just refresh that, and we are not getting anything. That's because we're inside a header and we did not use this header anywhere. So now let's just go ahead and go to the home right here and import a few things. So the first thing which I will import is link. Come on, not this one. This is import or link. L-I-N-K. Oh my god, L-I-N-K. L will be in lowercase and the rest of them in uppercase, and use params. From where? From the React router DOM. And the next thing which I want to do is that I also wanted to get the use get products query. Just a get products query. There we go. From the API slice. And also the next thing which I want to do is that I also wanted to get my loader. Loader from where? From let's just go one time, go to the components, and we wanted to get this loader. The next thing which I want to do is that I want to import my header from the component. And I also wanted to get not like that, just grab it manually. And I also wanted to get my message, so I'm going to import a message from the components and go to the message right here, go to the top, and now let's just use it right here. So first of all, what I want to do is I wanted to get the keyword from where? From the use params, and now let's just execute that. The next thing which I want to do is I wanted to get the data that is loading and also the is error if we have one. From where? From the use get top products query, and we want to pass our keyword right here. Okay, so that's that, and now let's just provide a label of JSX right here. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this home and remove that and just make it as a React fragment. Inside that, I'm gonna just check if the keyword, if we have the keyword. So what do you want to do? We just want to provide the header component, which we are going to be creating in a few seconds. If that's not the case, we are going to be just writing null. So let's just save that and refresh, and we are getting error right here. Does not provide an export name default. Okay, so let's just cut that from here, and oh my god, export default header. There we go. I'm going to save this file, refresh that one more time, and here you can see, first of all, we are getting these two undefineds, and then we are getting this data from our backend right here. So we are getting all of that popular or top data right here, and here you can also see we are getting this header right here. So we have a brand, we have a category, we have a count in stock, and description, image, name, and every single thing about our data right here. So we are totally getting that. What I want to do is that I wanted to use that data right here. So I'm going to just close that right here. And I want to first of all take care of these undefineds right here. So let's just close that. And let me just take care of their undefineds. I'm going to write is loading. So if it's loading, so what do you want to do? We just want to provide a loader right here. And I'm going to close that. And let me just get it from our component loader. There we go. So we are going to be getting the loader. And if we got some sort of an error, so what do you want to do? We just want to write like return h1 of like, I don't know, error or something like that. I guess this error would be fine. Okay, ERROR, then provided right here. And now I'm going to save that. And it won't do anything because we are not even using anything right here. So I'm going to just remove this header from here. And you know what? I'm going to make this first of all as a fragment. So I'm going to remove that and make it as a fragment. And also inside these fragments, we just want to create our div with a class of flex. Justify will be set to around. Okay, so justify, yep, that's correct. The next thing which you want to do is that we want to create first of all, for the extra large it will be blocked, for the large it will be hidden, for the medium it will be also hidden, and also for the small will be hidden as well. Okay, so just for extra large we are going to be setting that to block, and the rest of them will be undefined, not undefined but hidden. And now let me just provide a grid and grid columns too. And inside there, we're going to be iterating over through that data, which I just show you like so. And we just want to provide a product right here. And here, what do you want to do? We just want to provide a div right here. So let me just write a div. I'm not going to be providing any classes to it. So just a simple div. And here as a key, we are going to be specifying the product ID. And inside there, we are going to be providing, or you know what? I'm going to create a separate component for them. So I'm going to just name it like small product, and I'm going to just paste that product right here as a props right here. So let's just close that. I'm going to save this file. Let's just comment this line out, and we're not going to be seeing anything right here inside our screen. Why is that? Because we have to create this component first of all. So I'm going to go ahead and create it right here inside these pages right here. So inside these pages we want to go to, and inside this products folder I'm going to create one file, give a name of like small product.jsx. And now I wanted to get first of all the link, and that would be it. So the next thing which I want to do is that I want to write like a small product, and it will be equals to, or you know, we are going to be also destructuring our product which we are providing right in here like so. I'm going to just uncomment that, and let's just write T, and it's just not auto importing it for me, so I'm gonna have to import them manually. So let's just write a return statement right here, and first of all provide the width of 20. Oh, this is an arbitrary value, so we will not be able to do that. Come on, let's just write our div. Inside this div we are going to be providing a class name of 20 rims, and also for the margin left we are going to be providing 2 rim. And for the padding all around we are going to be specifying 3, and inside there we are going to be given a class of relative. And now inside this relative we are going to be using our image, and we are going to be getting that image from where? From the product. And we have this image where, oh, I forgot to show you that, but I'm going to show you that in a few seconds. So we are going to be writing the product image right here. Next, what do you want to do? We just want to write the product.name, and we want to provide it there. And also let me just provide a class name of, the height will be set to auto, and also rounded. There we go. So I'm going to just save this file, and now underneath this image we are going to be providing this what do we call it, this, oh my god, a heart icon component. In a few seconds we are going to be creating that, but let's just provide this right here. I'm going to comment this line out right here. Okay, so that's that. Now the next thing which you want to do is that we want to create a div with a class of padding all around of 4. And inside there we are going to be creating a link which we already grabbed, and let's just provide 2 case to it. So we just want to go to manually, first of all we want to go to the product, and then inside this product we want to go to a specific product. So we are going to be writing product.id right here for a specific product. There we go. So now inside this link, what do you want to do? We just want to write our h2 with a class of legs, and also justify will be set to between, and also items will be set to center. And I don't know why we are getting this error, product ID is missing in props. Okay, we will provide that, but you just have to wait, bro. And now inside there, what do you want to do? We just want to write first of all a div with nothing inside there, and we're going to be just writing product.name right here. And also we just want to write a span with the classes of background color pink of 100. Come on, 100. And also the text will be set to pink of 800 would be fine, and text will be small, and also the font will be medium, and margin for the right will be set to 2, padding for the x-axis will be 2.5, and also, oh, you know what, that's an arbitrary value, so let's just close it right here and make it 2.5. And also padding for the y-axis will be set to 0.5. It will be totally rounded and full and dark. I'm gonna provide background of totally pink 900, and also for the dark I'm gonna provide text of pink of 300. Come on, 300 right here. And also let's just provide our pound symbol right here, and now let's just render our product.price right here. I'm gonna save this file, and we are getting this error. That's because we did not save this file. I'm gonna save this file too, and now let's just check it out. Small product is not defined, so now let's just make it defined inside this header area. I'm gonna go ahead and import it like small product right here. From where? From our components, not a component but our pages. Let's just go ahead and go to the Redux, and inside this, not Redux. Why would I want to go to the Redux? You want to go to the pages. Inside these pages, we want to go to the products, and inside these products, we want to go to the small products. So let's just save that and refresh it. And finger crossed, we are getting some sort of error, and I don't know why is that. Let's just go ahead and check it out inside. Okay, the requested module pages product.jsx does not provide an export name default. We did not provide export. I forgot to do that. Let's just provide export default of small products. Let's just save that and refresh it right here, and here you can see we are getting all of that products right here. So currently these are the top products right here. So we have this camera, we have this one, and these are all the top products right now. But yeah, they are totally up top products. And I guess I'm gonna have to do something about these rounded corners, but I'm gonna do that a bit later. And now let's just take care of that carousel, which we are going to be rendering right here. I'm gonna go ahead and go to this products folder, and now let's just create that product carousel. So product, come on, product carousel.jsx right here. And now let's just write RAFCE and remove that from here. Save my file and go to my header right here, and underneath this div I'm going to use my product carousel. So product carousel, let's just auto import that, save our file. Okay, there we go, we are getting this product carousel right here. So now let's just take care of that. First thing first, let's just get our data. So I'm going to write like, first of all, use what do we call it? Use get top products query from our product API, and I'm going to also import my message. And also let's just get our slider from where? From the React Silk. And also let's just import our Silk, SLICK carousel. And now let's just go ahead and go to the Silk, come on, SLICK. And inside this Silk folder we want to get our silk.css right here. There we go. And also I'm going to duplicate them, and instead of writing just silk.css, we are going to be writing silk-theme.css right here. Okay, so that's that. And I'm going to also import my moment.js, import moment, moment from moment. Okay, and let's just import a lot of icons right here. So I'm going to write fa box, and also fa clock, fa shopping cart, and also the fa star. Okay, and fa store would be also fine. From where? From the React icons. There we go. And specifically in the FA folder from the React icons. So I'm going to save this file. And what I want to do is that, first of all, I wanted to get the data from their products, or top products rather. So I'm going to write like data, and I'm going to rename that to products right here, and is loading. If that's loading, so we're going to have to take care of that. And also let's just take care of the errors as well. So we're going to be getting this data from the use top products query. And first of all, we have to provide a settings for our carousel. So I'm going to write like settings, and it will be equals to this object right here. For the dots, we're going to be writing false. And for the infinite, we are infinite, we're going to be setting that to true, because we want our slider to slide infinitely. And for the speed, we're going to be providing like 500 right here. And also for the slides to show, so we just want to show only one slide at a time, and slides to scroll, SCROLL, only one slide. And also for the arrows, let's just set this one to true as well. For the autoplay, also make this one to true. And the autoplay speed would be, I don't know, 3 seconds or something like that. So these are going to be just the basic settings for our carousel right here. So let's just remove that. Now let me just provide the classes of margin for the bottom of 4. For the extra large screen, it will be block. For the large screen, it will also be block. And for the medium screen, it will be block. But for the rest of them, it will not be block. Okay, so let's just write is loading. And if it's loading, so we are going to be just providing null, like nothing. And if it is error, so what do you want to do? We also want to provide this message right here, which we've created. So message, and let's just close it right here. And I'm going to provide a variant of that. I don't know, danger would be fine. So danger, because it's an error. So now let's just provide this error if we have one. So we just want to provide the data. if we have the data inside that error. And now let's just render the message. If that's not the case, so we just want to render the error dot message right here. There we go. And now underneath that, let's just write a code for our actual slider, baby, slider. Okay, so let's just write a code for our slider. So I'm going to just close it right here. And now let me just provide first of all dot 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 of that settings which we have provided right here. Okay, so first of all we have to provide that settings, and the next thing which you want to do is that we also want to provide a lot of classes to it. So for the extra large you want to provide a width of like 50 rem, and for the large you want to provide a width of 50 rem one more time. Okay, like so. And also for the medium screen we just want to provide, I don't know, 56 rem would be fine. For the small screen we want to provide a width of 40 rem, and for the extra, or you know, for the small screen it should also be a block. So let's just go back, and this is how it looks like right now. The next thing which you want to do is that we want to iterate over through this data which we are getting from this use get top products query, and now let's just iterate over through that. So I'm going to just write like products.map, and inside this map let's just provide our parentheses right here. We are going to be destructuring a lot of things. Like, should I show you that? I know a lot of people will say like, HuXn, let's just start coding. I know all of that stuff. I am the most amazing developer of all time. But now let me just show you that right here. So I'm gonna just go ahead and let's just refresh that, and here you can see we are getting this data right here. So we are getting brands, category, and all of that data from our get top products query right here. So let's just close that right here. And now let's just iterate over through there like so. And now let's just destructure a few things like the image, also the ID, and also I wanted to get the name, the price, the description, and also the brand created at, and number of reviews it got, and also the rating, the quantity, and count in stock. Okay, and now let's just use our arrow function right here, and inside there first of all we are going to be creating a div with no classes. Okay, so let's just create our simple div right here, and I'm going to just provide the key of this ID right here, okay, which we are destructuring right here. Okay, so now inside there what do we want to do? We just want to write our image, and for this image we are going to be just writing this image right here which we are importing. And also for the alternative text we are going to be writing the name which we are importing, and also let's just provide a few class names right here. So for the class name we are going to be writing the width of full, rounded, totally large, and for the object it will be, I mean like the image will be totally covered, so object cover, and for the height let's just write 30 rems would be fine. I'm gonna save this file, and now let's just check it out. Let's just refresh it. Come on. Let's just refresh it, and here you can see we are getting these arrows, and let's just click on them and we are getting these images right here. That's looking amazing. But these images are high quality, so it will take a while sometimes, or maybe it will give us a broken image. Not quite sure about that, but here you can see we are getting the slider right here. But we are not done yet, baby. We gotta provide the rest of that stuff. So let's just provide a flex. Justify will be set to between, and also the width will be arbitrary value, so I'm gonna write width of 20 rem. Okay, and now inside that we're going to be creating a few classes. So I'm going to give it a name of like 1, and this is not a Tailwind CSS1 class. This is just my class. So let's just write h2. First of all we are going to be rendering the name of the product and also the price of the product. So let's just provide a price and close it up. I'm going to also provide a few beyonds right here just for the breaks. So I don't want to write like more CSS for that, so let's just provide a breaks right here. And also let's just provide a padding of width will be, I don't know, let's just provide a padding of 25 rem, and let's just render our description right here. I'm gonna save this file, and here you can see it is now giving us this name and also a description right here, but this description is a lot and I don't want that. Here you can see that's a lot of description right. Oh my god, that's a lot of description. So now let's just take care of this description right here. So what I would do is that I'm gonna just add this toString of first of all 0 and then 170 right here. So let's just save that, and it should solve our problem right here. So it will just only show us these few description right here, but I forgot to include this dot 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 at the end. So let's just provide that, I'm going to refresh this page, and here you can see that's looking amazing. So we have these few description right here. It is not showing us all of the description, but it is showing us a few of them right here. Okay, so that's looking cool. The next thing which you want to do is that we want to render the brands and all. So yeah, now let's just take care of that. So now underneath this description, what do you want to do? Or even this div right here. So what do you want to do? We just want to create one more div which will be for the 2, or you know what, not a 2. I'm gonna write a flex and justify. Come on, justify will be set to between, and also let's just provide a width of 20 rem, and inside there what I want to do is that I want to provide one more one right here. Okay, and this is just a div, but I just gave a class of 1 to it. H1 of legs, and items will be totally set to center, and margin for the bottom I'm gonna provide a 6 right here. And inside there I'm gonna write fa store right here, and also let's just provide a classes to it. So the class will be margin for the right will be set to 2, and text will be totally white. And let's just close it right here, give a name of like brand, and also let's just render our brand right here. Okay, so that's looking amazing. I'm gonna save this file. Here you can see we are now getting this brand right here, but that's looking awful, not that much cool. We are getting this brand, but why in the world we are getting it in the new side? I have to provide a little bit of width to it. So now this problem is solved. I'm going to duplicate this h1 right here 2 times, so one for the edit and one for the reviews as well. So let's just change that to edit. So I'm going to give a name of like edit, and also you know what, let's just remove that. Or now inside there we are going to be using the moment.js, and now let's just provide the created ad when it was created from now. Okay, so now if you just save that, it will give us like when this product was created right here. So it is giving us all of that, but I don't know why in the world this one is looking so awful. I'm gonna have to just provide a little bit of more to it. So I guess 10 would be fine. So let's just refresh that. No, that's still not looking okay. I guess 15 would be fine. So let's just provide 15 to it. But I'm wondering, like, I have to add these more stuff right here. Anyways, we will take care of that because this is just a UI. Don't worry about it. So edit and how to go. And let's just take care of this brand, and it will be reviews. Okay, so for the reviews I'm gonna write the num of reviews, the numbers of reviews. So let's just save that and check it out. Number of reviews, it got only 0 because we didn't specify any reviews to it. So that's why we are getting 0 reviews right here. Anyways, that's amazing too. Now underneath this h1 we are going to be writing to one more time the div with the class of whoa 2, there we go. And now inside there we are going to be using flex, and items will be set to totally center, and margin for the bottom we are going to be providing 6. And I just realized, like, we are providing the same icon right here. We have to change that to fa clock, and this one to fa star. There we go. I'm going to save this file, and it will give us that new right here. So we have these new icons right here. So now let's just take care of this one right here. What I want to do is that I want to first of all provide the fa star right here, and the classes I'm going to provide the margin right the same, and also the text will be totally white. And now let's just close that, provide ratings, and here we are going to be just providing the empty string right here. And after that we are going to be also providing math.round. We just want to round that ratings, and we want to provide that rating right here. So let's just save that, and here you can see we are getting these ratings right here, and we are getting the star, but we gotta provide a little bit of width to it. So let's just provide a width of, I don't know, 10 rems would be fine. That's not okay. We just have to provide, I don't know, 5. I guess 5 will do. Not to this one. Let's just cut that right here and put it in here. Save that. And why in the world we would provide this space? That star is not looking that good, so I'm going to provide a margin for the right of not 2, but let's just provide, I don't know, maybe 5 or something, or you know, 5 rems would be fine. So if you just put 5 rem, and that star is gone. Let's just provide 1. You know what, I'm gonna take care of that a bit later, but first of all let me just write all of them. So instead of writing a div rather than a div, I'm gonna just change that to h1 and save that, and I guess this would do. So no, it's not, so we'll take care of that a bit later. Anyways, so let's just duplicate this h1 right here for what? for the rating. That was for the rating. So now let's just duplicate for the quantity and count in stock. Okay, so just change that to FA shopping cart, and I'm going to change that to quantity. And in this case, we are not going to be using math.round, but we are going to be providing the quantity. And now I'm going to provide it right here for the FA box. Okay, so for the FA box, and now let's just provide in stock right here and count in stock. So count in stock, save our file, and now let's just check it out. And that's looking awful. This last one is totally looking awful. So let's just provide, I don't know, 10 width to it, 10 rims of width, and that's looking cool. But FA shopping cart is not working. I don't know why, but it isn't working. FA shopping cart, yep, we are importing it correctly. Let's just provide 10 rims of to this one as well. And there we go. Here you can see we are getting this shopping cart right here. But this 1 star is left. I guess I'm importing the wrong one or something like that. I'm going to take care of that in a few seconds, but not right now. Next, let's just render our data right here. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and go to the home, and I'm going to hit enter right here in this case. Let me just zoom in a bit. And first of all, I want to check if it's loading. So what do you want to do? We just want to provide our loader right here. And now let's just close that. And what if it's not loading but is error right here? So what do you want to do in that case? So in this case, we just want to write our message component, and let's just close it right here and provide a variant of danger right here. Inside this component, we are going to, inside this message, what do you want to do? We just want to provide our is error if we have one. So what do you want to do? We just want to get the data of that error and also the error message. MESSAGE in lowercase. And what if that's not the case? So we are going to be just checking for is error, not error right here. So that's that. Now what if all of the cases are resolved? So the final state, we are going to be just writing our data right here. So now let's just write our fragments, React fragments. So now in this fragments, first of all, we are going to be just writing or div right here. Oh, you know, we're going to take care of that div. Oh, let's just write it. Okay, so let me just write it right here. I'm going to just close it right here, and I'm going to provide a class name of flex. Justify will be set to bit to win, and items will be set to center. And inside there, we are going to be just writing h1. And for this h1, we are going to be writing a class name of what? Let me just write a class name of margin for the left will be 20 rem. And margin for the top, we are going to be providing 10 rem in this case. And also for the text, we are going to be providing like 3 rem. And that's that. Now inside this h1, we are going to be just writing special. So I'm just writing it so we don't have to write it later. Let's just close that. And for the 2, where should it go? It should go to the shop. And we are going to be creating a shop in a few seconds. But first of all, let me just style this like BG ping of 600. And also for the font, we are going to be providing bold, totally rounded, full. And padding for the y-axis will be set to 2. Padding for the x-axis will be set to 10. And margin for the right, we are going to be specifying 18 rems right here. And let's just provide 18 rems. And margin for the top, we are going to be also specifying not 18 but 10 would be fine. Okay, and let's just provide a level of shop to it. So if you save that here, you totally can't see that right here. I thought you're not going to be able to see that. And now if you click on this shop button, let me just click on that, it will brings us to this shop right here. But currently we didn't set up our shop, so it will not show us anything right here. Alright, that's looking amazing. And we also got to take care of this one as well. So we are going to be taking care of that a bit later. So now underneath this link, what do you want to do? We just want to write a div with a class of flex, and justify will be set to center, and also for the flex wrap will be set to wrap. And I'm going to provide a margin for a top of how much? We are going to be providing 2 rems in this case. And now inside there, we are going to be iterating over through all of that data which we currently have right in here. Let's just iterate over through all of the data. And in which thing we are interested in? We are interested in this products, and we want to iterate over through all of the products which we currently have. So what do you want to do with that products? We just want to render this div right here. So let's just write a div, and we are going to be providing, what do we call it? We are not going to be providing any styling. So let's just provide product.id trade as a key so that we don't get that nasty error. And we are going to be creating this product component, product component in a few seconds. But first of all, let me just pass my product right in here. So product, there we go. I'm going to save this file, and you're not going to be seeing anything. That's because currently we don't have this product right here. So now let's just create this product. What I want to do is that inside this products folder, I'm going to create a folder, give a name of like product.jsx, and it is singular, not plural. Later we are going to be also creating one plural. I don't even know how to pronounce that name, but we are going to be creating one with the S, but for this one we don't have S. I'm going to hit enter right now. Let me just use RFCE, save this file, and now let's just render it right in here. So it will just auto import it right here. Refresh there. Come on, let's just refresh there. And here you can see we are getting products that much time right here. That's because currently we just provide that product right here. That's why we are getting, for all of that data, we are just getting this product right here as a label. All right, so what I want to do is that first of all, I'm going to go ahead and import the link first of all. So I'll just write a link from the React Router DOM, and we are going to be importing one other thing, which is a heart, but we're going to take care of that a bit later. So now let's just remove that product from there. And now let me just provide class name of width will be 30 rem. I'm going to close that, and also for the margin left we are going to be also providing 2 rem, and for the padding all around will be 3 rem. I mean like just 3 and relative. Okay, and inside that we are going to be importing one more image, but relative, it should also be a relative. And now inside there we are going to be importing the product image first of all. So let's just write the product.image. Come on, I don't even know where this product slice came from. So let's just write product. Oh my god, gotta write product. There we go. And we just wanted to get the product image, nothing else. And now here in this case we are just interested in getting, oh, that's because we are not destructuring that right here. So let's just destructure that product, which we are providing it right here. If I can highlight that, which we are providing right here. There we go. So now let's just provide, or what do we call it, product.name right here. And come on, just a name. And I'm going to also provide a class name of width will be 30. Come on, let me just provide 30 rem right here, and also totally rounded. There we go. So let's just save this file, and I want to see one product, or one product with image. So let's just refresh that, and here you can see we are getting these images, but that's not what I wanted. That's looking awful. I didn't want it to be like this. So let's just go ahead and go to the home first of all, and I'm going to cut this div right here, or let's just close it right here manually. I'm gonna just close this div right here, save my file. We are getting the error right here. That's because we are closing that div, and I'm gonna just start this new div right here from this area, and now I'm gonna save this file, and it should work. So let's just refresh that, and there we go. Here you can see we are getting our products right here totally amazingly. I'm gonna have to remove this product and replace it with something else, but currently we are getting these images, and that's looking amazing. So now let's just take care of that other stuff. We are going to be also providing this heart right here, or not heart, but heart icon a bit later, and I'm going to also specify that product which you are getting. Let me just close that right here and also comment this out. I'm going to just cut out all of their spaces, and underneath this div, what do you want to do? We just want to create one more div with the class of padding all around of 4, and now inside there we're going to be just using a link, and let's just provide the 2 right here. And where should it go? First of all, it should go to the product, and then it should go to a specific product. So let's just write product, and for the specific product we have to specify the specific ID of that product. So now inside there we just have to use h2 with the classes of flex, justify of between, and also items will be totally set to center. And now inside this h2, what do you want to do? We just want to create a div with the class of text totally large, and I'm gonna just render the product name first of all. So now let's just save that here, and there we go. Here you can see we are getting this name, and now if I click on this specific product, it will now brings us to this specific product right here, but we're not going to see anything because we didn't set up anything right now, but we will do that in a few seconds. So now let's just take care of the prices and label. So yeah, now underneath this div, what do you want to do? We just want to write our span with the classes of bg totally ping of 100. So now let me just execute that, go back, because here we are going to be writing a lot of classes. So next we are going to be writing text of totally ping of 800, and also text will be small, font will be medium, Margin right will be set to 2, padding for the x-axis will be 2.5, and also padding for the y-axis will be 0.5, and also totally rounded full. And for the dark, what do you want to do? We just want to provide a BG, the background of totally pink. 900 would be fine. And I'm gonna also provide a dark of text pink 3. Come on, if I can get it. Oh my god, not that. If I can just write 300, there we go. And now let me just provide a label of price, not price, but product dot price in this case. And I'm gonna just provide this $1 sign, right? $1 sign, and provide a space. So now let's just save that. And here you can see we are getting this label and also this price right here. I wanted to take care of that heart, and I'm gonna put it right here. So if we click on that and we go to the favorites, so we wanted to see that product or that special product or that favorite product right here in there. So I want to do that first of all. So now let's just implement the add to heart or not add to heart but add to favorites functionality right here. So what I want to do is that I'm going to go ahead and go to my Redux. So first of all, I want to take care of the Redux side, and then we are going to take care of the front end, the rest of the front end, like the UI stuff. Okay, so now let me just go ahead and go to the features right here, and I'm going to just create one more folder. I'm going to give a name of like favorites. There we go. And inside that folder, we are going to be creating one file for the favorite slice.js right here. Okay, so now let me just define my slice, and then we are going to be creating a utility functions for that. So I'm going to just import the create slice right here. So now underneath that, what do you want to do? We just want to write a favorite slice, and it will be equals to the create slice right here. And inside there, we are going to be first of all providing the name, so it will be favorites or favorites, whatever you want to call that. And then we have to specify the initial state, and initial state will be just equal to this empty array right here. And also let's just define our reducers, and in this case we are going to be just writing that add to favorites first of all. And how that's gonna look like, first of all, we are going to be providing the state and also the actions as well. And inside there, we are going to be check if the product is not already favorites. Okay, so first of all, you wanted to check if the product is not already in the state. So let's just write the if statement, and we want to check if state.name, or not name, but we have to use the sum method right here, and we have to specify product in this case. And now let's just check product dot ID. Okay, so if that is equal to the action dot payload, which we are going to be specifying, and ID. So what do you want to do in that case? We just want to push the action to our payload. So I'm going to just write like state and push action to our payload right here in this case right here. So now let me just provide that closing, and there we go. So that's for adding item to the favorites. And now let's just provide for the remove from favorites. Okay, favorites, and I'm gonna just use that state, and also it will take an action. So what do you want to do in that case? We just want to return. But before I do that, first of all, let me just write remove the product come on, product with the matching ID. Okay, so if the ID is matched, so then we want to just remove that. So in this case, we are going to be using the filter method, and now inside there we are going to be defining our own product one more time. And in this case, we just want to use this ID, and if that's not equal to what action dot payload dot ID right here, so then we want to just remove them. Now let me just provide one more comma, and let me just define my final reducer right here in this case. So set favorites. Okay, so action and state, and in this case we just want to write like set the favorite from a local storage, which we are going to be using, or we are going to be defining in a few seconds. So we are going to be just using action not payload right here in this case. So now let me just go back. So these are all of the reducer that we are going to be working with. So the first one we have is add favorites, or add to favorites, or favorites, and then we have a remove from favorites, and then we have a set favorites right here. Okay, so that's that. Now let me just remove this empty space from here, and I'm feeling like there is something off, but not quite sure about that. What in the world is it? So now first of all, let me just export them. So I'm going to use like export, and let's just export all of the reducers, so, or not reducers but actions. So I'm going to use like add to favorites, and also remove from favorites, and also set favorites as well, and it will be equals to the favorites slice dot action in this case, because they are in action. So now let me just write export const select come on, favorite product, and it will be equals to the state in this case, and we're going to be just getting like state.favorites, favorites, there we go, and not favorite slice but favorites, there we go. And I'm gonna just use export default in this case, and favorite slice dot reducer. So we just want to export all of the reducers as well. So now let me just save this file, and that was it about for the favorite slice right here. The next thing which I want to do is that I want to go to my you know what, I'm going to create a util right here. Let me just close this one, or let me just close all of them because that will confuse you. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the src folder, and inside this src folder I'm going to create one more folder for the utilities. So I'm going to write utils. Okay, we create one for the backend right here, and we are creating one for the front end right here with uppercase U. So now inside there, what do you want to do? We just want to write like a local storage.js file right here, not JSX but JS file. Inside this JS file, we are going to be doing a few things. Add a product to local storage, and the second thing which we are going to be doing is to remove a product from or remove product from a local storage, and also retrieve favorites from a local storage. There we go. So we are going to be starting from the last one, which will be retrieve favorites from the local storage. So I'm going to write export const and get favorites from local storage. There we go. storage, kind of a long name. But these are utilities, so I'm gonna have to provide better names. So I'm gonna write like favorites JSON, and it will be local storage. We are going to be getting our item or a specific favorite item from our local storage, so that's why I'm writing it right here. So favorites. Okay, so that's that. So now let's just return if the favorites JSON. So what do you want to do in that case? So we just want to write json.parse. So we just want to parse it out. So I'm going to use like favorite JSON. And if that's not the case, so we just want to provide an empty array right here. So now let me just save that. So that was the last step. So now let's just take care of the first step, which will be adding item to the favorite. So I'm going to use like export const add favorite to local storage. There we go. And it will also take a product right here, and this will be also an array or arrow function. So I'm going to just write favorites, and it will be equals to get favorites from a local storage function. And now let's just check. If not, favorites.json, not JSON but sum. So now let's just provide a single product like so. Let me just provide a single product right here and check for the specific ID. So if that's not equal, or if that's equal to the product dot ID, so what do you want to do in that case? And now inside this if statement, so we are going to be just writing favorites dot push, and we just want to push our new product right here. Okay, so then we are going to be also setting that product to a local storage. So we're going to be writing set item and favorites, and let's just provide json.stringify and provide our favorites right here. Okay, so also this one is totally done. Now let's just take care of this final one, which will be removing product from the local storage. So I'm going to use like export const remove favorite from local storage. There we go. And I'm going to just provide a product ID in this case, a lowercase ID. And let's just take care of, I'm going to just copy this line of code, and let me just push it right here. So now I'm going to just filter out all of their products. So I'm going to use like const update favorites, update favorites, there we go, and favorites. So we just want to iterate over to all of the favorites. And what do you want to do? Let me just get my product. And what do you want to do with that favorites? We just want to check if product.id is not equal to product ID. So what do you want to do in that case? We just want to set a local storage, set item, and you want to get or not get but provide a favorites, and we just want to write json.stringify, and here we just have to write updated favorites right here. So now let me just save that, and that's it for the local storage, right? So now let me just use this add favorites to a local storage, remove, and also retrieve or get, whatever you want to call that. Now let me just use that inside my store. So I'm going to just go ahead and go to the store, and I'm going to first of all grab my favorite reducer. So favorites reducer, or yeah, favorite reducer from where? Let's just go ahead and go to the Redux. And inside this Redux, we want to go to the features, and inside these features, we want to go to the favorites, and inside these favorites, we just want to get this favorite slice right here. The next thing which you want to do is that we also want to get favorites from our local storage favorites. Let me just go ahead and grab the local storage, get favorites from the local storage. So I'm going to just copy that and let me just place it right here. From and utils, you got to go to utils. So let's just go back, go to the utils folder, and then we got to go to the local storage. There we go, local storage. And now the next thing which you have to do is that we have to initialize our favorites. So I'm going to just use like const initial initial favorites, and we want to just use their method which we get like get favorite thing or get favorite item from our local storage. If we get that, so just print out this result. If not, then what do you want to do? We just want to set that to an empty string right here. And now underneath this auth, now let's just also register this. We are going to be using favorites, and it will be equals to favorites reducer, which we are grabbing from that reducer right here, this one. And we also have to preload our stat first of all. So we are going to be using preloaded stat, and it will be equals to favorites. And now let me just use initial favorites right here. There we go. Let me just put my comma here, and I guess that will be it. I guess there is nothing much left, but that's it for the Redux setup. I'm gonna save this file, and yeah, I guess that would be it. If there is something left, so I'm gonna just refer back to it and provide it right here, but I'm not sure there is something left. That's it. Hey, HuXn here from the future. Before we uncomment this out, first of all, I would like to go to the favorite slice, and I did a few things. Here, I forgot to include this closing bracket right here. I mean like closing parentheses, and also I forgot to use this S right here. I just wrote that like action, but it is not action, it is actions, like plural. Okay, so just make sure to do that. And now let's get into it. So I'm gonna just uncomment this line out, and I'm gonna also import it right here. Okay, so I'm gonna just save this file. Now the next thing which you have to do is that I'm gonna go ahead and go to the products, and I'm gonna create my component which will be heart icon.jsx right here. And I'm gonna just use RAFCE, save this file, and refresh. And here you can see we are getting this heart icon right here. So now let me just go ahead and go to this heart icon right here. But first of all, I'm gonna have to destructure the product which we are getting right here. Okay, so that's that. Now the next thing which you have to do is that we have to get our icons. So I'm going to use like fa heart, like so, and also fa reg heart 2, and I'm going to just get that from the React icons fa, and I'm going to also get my use selector and use dispatch from the React Redux. I'm going to also get my, what do we call it, add to favorites, add to, but you know what, let's just write from where. We just want to get that from our Redux. So let's just go ahead and go to the Redux, then go to the features, then go to the favorites, then go to the favorite slice. And now inside that, we are going to be getting the add to favorite. We are going to be also getting the remove from favorite, and we are going to be also getting the set favorite right here. So I'm going to just save this file, and we are going to be also getting, what do we call it, that's utils from our local storage. So I'm going to just go ahead and import that from where? From the utils. So I'm going to just go ahead and go to the utils folder right here, and then inside this utils folder we have this local storage right here. So I'm going to first of all get my add favorite to local storage and get favorite to local storage or from local storage, and also remove one as well. So remove favorite from local storage as well. I'm going to save this file, and also let me just get my use effect too. Let's just cut that from here and put it right here at the top. Doesn't even matter, but I just want to make it like that. So yeah, that's that. And the next thing which you have to do is that we have to also dispatch. So const dispatch, and it will be equals dis, come on, dispatch, and it will be equals to the use dispatch. And now let's just execute that. The next thing which you have to do is that we want to get the favorites from the use selector. So let's just go ahead and go to the store and get or favorites from that. So if we have that, give us that. If not, then just make that as an empty array. And now let's just check is favorites, come on, is favorites, there we go, and it will be equals to favorites Oh my god, favorites, if I can type it. And I'm gonna just iterate over through all of the products by using this sum method. Let me just pass my p for the paragraph, I mean like not for the paragraph but p for the product. So I'm gonna just check for product.id is equal to product.id. So in that case, what do you want to do? So if that's true, so give us all the data based on that. If that's not true, then give us nothing, because we won't have anything inside our local storage. So I'm going to use the use effect right here, and now inside there, what do you want to do? We just want to check for the favorites from local storage, and we want to get that from the local storage, and then we have to dispatch or store. So I'm going to just use like set favorites, and it will be equals to the favorites from the local, favorites from the local storage right here. Okay, so now I'm going to just save this file, and now the next thing which you have to do is that I'm going to go ahead and write all of that JSX right here. It's not that much, but we are going to be writing this JSX right here. So first of all, let me just provide a class name of like absolute ABSOLUTE, and for the top we are going to be using 2, for the right we are going to be using 5, and cursor will be pointer. And here, what do we have to do? We are going to be checking if it's favorite. What do you want to do? We just want to write this JSX right here. So we just want to render FA heart and class name of text pink 500 right here. Okay, so if that's the case, so what if that's not the case? So what do you want to do in there? Okay, so in this case, we are going to be just writing FA reg heart, or yeah, reg heart, whatever you want to call that. And now we have to also provide a class name of text of totally white. So I'm going to just save this file, and that's looking better. But when somebody clicks on this FA heart, so what do you want to do? We just want to provide on click toggle favorites would be fine. So let me just copy that, and now let me just create this function right here. So const toggle favorites will be equals to this arrow function. Inside this arrow function, first of all, we have to check for is favorites. Okay, so if it's favorite is favorites, and I guess I'm gonna have to change that to is favorite, not is favorite. So I'm gonna hit enter right here, so it will just make it is favorite right here. So inside there, what do you want to do? First of all, we want to dispatch the remove from the local storage right here, and we also have to specify the product right here. Okay, and in the next thing which you have to do is that we have to remove the product from the local storage as well. Okay, so let's just remove the product from the local storage by using the remove favorite from the local storage right here, and we just have to specify the product and ID right here, a specific product ID. There we go. If that's not the case, so what do you want to do? So we just want to dispatch, and we want to add that product. So add favorite, not this one, add to favorites, and we just want to provide our product right here, and also add the product to the to local storage as well. I'm going to use add favorite to the local storage, and now let me just provide this product right here. And this one should not be remove favorites from the local storage, should be remove from favorites. There we go. So now let me just save that, and we are getting this error. So now let me just refresh that. Maximum update depth exceeded. This can happen when the component rapidly calls the set state inside the component will update, and React limit the number of nested updates to prevent infinite loops. I don't know where this came from. Oh, that's because I forgot to include that what do we call it, that empty dependency array right here. So now let me just save that, and now let me just refresh, and I guess it will solve the issue, and it does. And here you can see we are getting this heart icon right here. So if I click on this heart icon, it should add that item to the local storage. So if I just open my local storage right here, or not a local storage, but yeah, I'm gonna have to open that local storage, and now let me just click on some other product, like I don't know, if I click on this button, it's not adding it, and I don't know why. And guess what? I was writing it right here. I'm gonna have to cut this on click from here, and I'm gonna have to place it right here. Let me just place it right here and save my file. Now let's just refresh there. And now if I click on this button, and here you can see we are getting these favorites right here, and we are adding one item right here, and we have this specific item which we are getting the item name, we are getting the item category and all of the information based on that item right here. Now let me just add one more. So I'm going to just click on this camera, and it will also include the camera too. Okay, right here, if you can see that codec right here. So yeah, it is totally working. Let me just add this one too, and it is working totally okay. So the next thing which you have to do is that we also have to take care of these favorites right here. So if I click on this favorite, so we just want to take care of this page, and also we also want to take care of this navigation. So when somebody selects something or adds some item to the favorites, so we just want to show it right here. So we also want to take care of that. If I click on this one, let me just click on this one too and refresh. It's not even storing it in local storage. I don't know why. Okay, so I gotta figure that out too. So let's just go ahead and go to the local storage, and we are doing every single thing right here, but why in the world it's not working? I just figured out a solution to that problem. So if I let me just explain that problem once again. So just in case if you don't get it, so I'm gonna just click on this heart icon right here, and it will add it right here, and we have that item, and I'm gonna just add this one as well, and I'm gonna add this one as well. So we just add these three items to our local storage right here. And what if I refresh my browser? So if I just refresh my browser, and here you can see we are getting all of that items right here, but the thing is that we are not getting it right here inside our UI. Like our hearts are not red, they are totally outlined. So now to fix this problem, I just made a typo right here. Here you can see we are setting the favorites right here, and I don't even know what the hell is that spelling. It's not totally correctly the same as this one, favorites. So I'm gonna copy that, and now let me just place it right here, save our file, and bang. And here you can see it will just solve my issue right here. Let me just refresh that, kind of a clunky, and I'm gonna also remove their data. And now let me just refresh that one more time, and now let me just try to add that items one more time. So I'm gonna just add this first item. Now let me just add this second one and also this third one as well. Okay, so we have three items inside our local storage right here. I'm gonna refresh my browser, and here you can see they are totally selected as well. So now this issue is totally solved. The next thing which you have to do is that we have to go ahead and go to the navigation, and we want to add that count right here. So whenever we set each of the product to a favorite, so we want to get that count right here. So what I want to do is that I'm going to go ahead and go to the navigation right here, and underneath on this cart, which you can see right here, we are going to be just writing our navigation count right here, or not navigation count but favorite count, favorites count here. And now let me just close that. Okay, so now let me just create that right here. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go ahead and go to the product right here, and now let me just create that favorites count.jsx file, and let me just use RAFCE and save my file, save this file, but we gotta import that right here, so it will just auto import it for me. So let's just save this file, and let's just refresh. And now here you can see if I hover my mouse over to it, so we are getting this favorite count right here. Everything is cool. Now let me just go ahead and make that. The first thing which I want to do is that I wanted to get that use selector right here. So I'm going to use like import of use selector, use selector from where? From our React Redux right here. The next thing which you have to do is that we have to get that specific item from our store right here. So I'm going to use favorites, and it will be equals to the use selector, and I'm going to just write stat, and here we just have to write stat.favorites, okay, from our store. Next we just want to get the length, so I'm going to just write like favorite count, and it will be equals to the favorite length, the favorites dot length. Come on, length, there we go. Okay, so now let me just render that right in here. So the first thing which I want to do is that let me just provide an absolute to it, and it will go to the left of 2, and for the top we are going to be just providing like add, and inside there we are going to be just writing like favorite count is greater than 0, and then just provide this JSX right here. So span, and for the span we are going to be just writing like padding for the x-axis of 1, padding for the y-axis of 0. Text will be totally small, and the text will be totally white in color, and BG will be totally pink 500, and totally rounded 4. And now let me just provide that right here. So I'm gonna just write like favorite. So now let me just save that. But why in the world we are not? Okay, we are writing it inside. Let's just cut that from here and paste right here, and save my file. Let me just go back, and this is how currently things looks like. And now let me just refresh that one more time. And here you can see we are getting that 3 items right here. So we selected 3 items, so that's why we are getting these 3 items right here as a label. So if I deselect that, let me just deselect this one, we are getting 2. Now let me just select this one, so we are getting 1. And finally we are not getting anything right here. Okay, let me just select that one more time, and there we go. And let me just select some of them. Oh, we forgot to include that heart icon right here. Now let me just do that real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the small product, and I'm going to just uncomment that. And now let me just grab that. Okay, so save my file and refresh, and here you can see we are getting this heart icon right here. And we already select that camera, and also we select both of these cameras right here, so they are already selected right here. Let's suppose if I select this one right here, and we are getting this 3. If I click on this one, we are getting this 4 right here. So everything is working totally fine. Alright, so next thing which you have to do is that we have to take care of this favorite screen. So what I want to do is that I'm going to just remove every single thing which I have right here, and I'm going to just create one component inside this products right here, and it will be, and the name will be favorites.jsx. I'm going to just write RAFCE for now. Save my file. Let's just go ahead and go to the main and register there right here. So underneath this route, we are going to be just writing a route and close there right here. And for the path, I'm going to just specify the path of, and for the element, we are going to be just specifying our favorite. So favorite component. So we didn't import that. We will import that in a few seconds. So let's just go ahead and auto import that if we can. We can't, so we have to auto import that. First of all, let's just go ahead and import that right here, but it should be pages. So we have a home page. You know, I'm gonna take care of all of these stuff, like they are not sorted. We're gonna sort this out later, but first of all, let me just go ahead and import the favorites, favorites from, let's just go one time. Go to the pages. Inside these pages, we wanted to go to the inside these pages we don't want to go to the Redux, but we want to go to the product. Inside this product, we want to get these favorites right here. So now let me just copy that and place it right here. Now let me just save this file, and now if I go ahead and go to these favorites right here, so we are not getting any errors. Instead, we are getting this page right here. So now let me just take care of this screen right here. So I'm going to just zoom in a bit first of all. And we want to import a lot of things. So import the use selector like so from the React Redux. And also you want to get the something from the Redux store. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the Redux store. And also if you want to go to the feature, if you want to go to the favorites, you want to go to the favorite slice, and we want to just import the selected favorite product right here. Underneath there, we are going to be also getting this product right here. And now let's just save that, and that's it for everything which we need right now. And the next thing which I'm going to do is going to be a little bit weird for some people out there, but just bear with me. I'm going to explain that in a few seconds. So I'm going to use the use selector, and I'm going to just specify the selected favorite product right here. Okay, so now if I just save my file, so now I'm going to go ahead and go to the home. So what in the world we are doing? We are going to this inspect area, and we are going to the application tab, and we are going to this favorites, and we are getting all of that items from that favorites, and we are passing it right here as a use selector right here. Don't believe me? Let me just show you that. I'm going to use console.log of favorites, and I'm going to save this file. I'll be first of all got to go to this favorites right here. And now if I inspect that, go to the console, and here you can see we are getting this array right here. If I expand that, so it will give us all of that items which I selected as favorites. Okay, so we have, first of all, we have that 2 cameras, and we also have that sofa which we are getting right here. So if I expand that, so we have all of that items which you can also see right here inside this application tab and inside this console as well. So that's amazing. We are getting the data. So let's just remove that. The next thing which I want to do is that I want to remove this favorite from here. And now let me just write console.log class name of margin for the left. We are going to be writing 10 rem. And inside there, we are going to be writing h1 with a class of text totally large. And for the font, we are going to be using bold font. And for the margin left, we are going to be using the arbitrary value, which will be 3 rem. Okay, and I'm going to also provide a margin for a top of 3 rems and close that. Inside this h1 we are going to be writing as a label as favorite products. Let's just save that, and here you can see we are getting this favorites product right here. And now what I want to do is that I'm going to just create a div with a class of flex and flex wrap. Inside there we are going to be using like favorite, and now let's just iterate over through all of that, and I'm going to just use the product right here. And as a product we are going to be rendering our product component, and also we are going to be providing as a key of product dot key of id, and also the product will be, and also let's just provide our product prop, and I'm going to pass the product as a prop. So come on, like that. And let me just close that, save our file, and here you can see we have all of these products right here which are selected as favorites. So if I just remove one of them, boom, that's gone. If I remove this one, boom, that's gone. And there we go. Okay, so we have all of these products, so you can select, I mean, like, let's just go ahead and go to the home. So now you can select product as favorite, or you can deselect that if you wanted to. So now I'm going to just select all of these products, or I'm not going to do that. Okay, so let's just select these two products right here, and now let me just go to the favorites. So we are now selecting both of these products right here, and they are looking amazing. So that was it about adding products to favorites. So the next thing which you have to do is that we have to take care of a specific product. So I'm going to just click on this one, and here you can see we are inside a specific product right here, but we're not handling that. So now let me just do that right here. So what I want to do is that I'm going to go ahead and go to this products folder. Let me just zoom in a bit. Come on, zoom in. There we go. And I'm going to create one file, give a name of like product, come on, product details.jsx right here. I'm going to use my RAFCE, and let's just go ahead and register that right here. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this path and change that to product and a specific product ID right here. And I'm going to just render my product details right here. So I'm going to just save this file, and now let's just check it out. And here you can see instead of getting that error, we are now getting this product detail right here. That's looking amazing. So next thing which you have to do is that we got to go into that folder, I mean like that file which we've created right here, which is this product detail right here, and import a lot of things. So I am going to import my use stat first of all, and I'm going to also import the use params, and also the link and the use navigate from the React router and DOM. Underneath that we're going to also need the use selector from the React Redux, just a React Redux, that's it. And we're going to also need the toast, T-O-A-S-T, from the React Toastify. And underneath that we're going to also need a few other things from the React, not React, but the Redux right here. So let's just go ahead and go to the Redux folder, and then I'm going to go to the API in this products API right here, and I'm going to just get a few things like use get new products query, not this one, but use get product details right here, this one. And I'm going to also get my use create review mutation. So underneath there we're going to also need the loader. So I'm going to write loader from, let's just go ahead, first of all we're going to go into that, what do we call it, components, and then we have to go into the loader. Let's just duplicate that and change that to message, and also change this one to message. Okay, and I'm going to also get a lot of fonts right here. So I'm going to get it from the React icons, and not fonts but icons. Okay, so I'm going to get it from the FA folder. The first icon I'm going to get is a font box, and I'm going to also get a font clock, and also the font shopping, come on, FA shopping cart, and FA star, and also the FA store right here. Underneath there we're going to get the moment, moment from the moment, and also the heart icon from our heart icon right here. So these are all the things which we need right now, but we will need a few other things a bit later. So now let's just use that right here. So what I want to do is that first of all I want to get my ID. So I'm going to just get my ID which we have right here, this ID. Okay, so now I'm going to just change that to like a product ID like so, and it will be equals to the use params, and let's just execute that. The next thing which you have to do is that we have to navigate. So I'm going to use navigate, and it will be equals to the use navigate right here. And now let's just execute this one as well. We're going to also need to provide a quantity, so I'm going to just use like qty and set qty right here, and it will be equals to the useStat, and the initial value we are going to be specifying 1. And I'm going to also provide a const and rating, and then let's just write set rating, and it will be equals to the useStat, and the initial value I'm going to set that to 0. And now let me also write my comment and also set comment as well, and it will be equals to the useStat, an empty string right here. And now let's just get a few things from our endpoint right here. So use get product details query, and I'm going to execute that. But before we getting into any further, first of all, I'm going to get where in the world is I'm going to get my product ID, and now let me just place it right here, and I'm going to get a few things from it. So the first thing which I want to get is a data, and I'm going to rename that to product. And also we are going to need the is loading, and also a refetch, and the error finally. So now let me just save that, and this is how it looks like. And I guess we are pretty much there. But first of all, we also want to get the user info as well, so it will be equals to the use selector. And now let me just use my stand, and we want to get that from our store, so that's why we are using this syntax right here. And also let me just get my create review from where I'm going to show you from where, but first of all, let's just get is loading and rename that to loading come on, loading product review would be fine, and it will be now equals to the use create product review mutation. Let's just go back, and we're not going to be providing anything to it, and I guess that's it. I mean, like, that's pretty much done. But now let's just use this data and provide the UI right here. So now let me just close that and zoom in a bit right here. So the first thing which I want to do is that I'm going to just remove this div, and I'm going to just make it as a React fragment. And now let me just create a div right here, and I'm going to also write my link, and it will go to the home page right here. Let's just provide a little bit of classes to it, like text will be white and font will be semi bold, and when somebody hover over it, so we just want to provide underline. And also for the margin left, we are going to be specifying 10 rims right here. Okay, for the label, we are going to be providing go back. Let's just go back and see how it looks like right here. So here you can see we have this go back button right here. If we click on it, it will just brings us back right here. I'm going to just click on this product one more time, and here you can see we have our go back button right here. The next thing which we want to do is that underneath this div, we just want to write is loading. If it's loading, so what do you want to do? We just want to write or loader right here. So I'm going to just close that. And if it's not loading, and if we got some sort of an error, so what do you want to do in that case? We just want to provide our message right here, or message component. Now let me just close that, and the variant will be set to danger like so. And I'm going to also specify the message right here, the error, if we have some sort of error. So what do you want to do? We just want to get the data. If we have some sort of a data, so we just want to get a specific message from that data. If not, so then we want to just render the error message right here. There we go. So now let me just save them. But before I do, I'm going to have to provide some sort of a data right here. So for the final clause, now let's just write our React fragment right here. Okay, so now let me just save that, and this is how it looks like right here. Okay, so now inside these fragments, what do you want to do? The first thing which you want to do is that we want to render the image. So I'm going to just write a flex, and also the flex will be set to wrap and relative. There we go, relative. Yep, and items will be set to between, and I'm going to also provide the margin for the left. So I'm going to write not margin left, but margin top will be set to 2 rims. And for the margin left, we are going to be specifying like 10 rim. I'm going to go ahead inside there. We are going to be creating one more div, and inside this div, we are going to be creating our image. And let's just remove these empty strings and replace it with the product and image. And now outside from that, we are going to be providing our product dot name right here, and let's just provide a little bit of class names to it. So what I want to do is that I'm going to just write the width of 4. For the extra large, we want to provide the width of 50 rims, and for the large, we are going to be specifying the width of 45 rim. And for the medium, we just want to provide a width of 30 maybe. I'm going to provide 30 rim. And for the small screen sizes, we are going to be providing the width of 20 rim. And for the that's it. We're not going to be providing anything for the extra small screen, so let's just provide a margin for the right of 2 rims right here. Okay, so now let me just save that, and let's just check it out. and here you can see we have our image right here, and that looks amazing. Underneath this image, what do you want to do? We just want to render our heart right here, our icon, and we are going to be specifying the product, and it will take that product as a prop. And now let's just save that. And here you can see we have this heart right here, and it is now set to favorite right here, so that's looking amazing too. And now we are getting it. So now underneath this div, what do you want to do? We just want to create one more div with a class of flex, and flex will be set to column, and justify will be set to between. And now inside there, we are going to be writing h2 with a class of text 2xl, and also the font will be set to semi-bold. And yeah, I guess that would be it. So now let's just write the product name first of all. So I'm going to write product.name, and now let me just save that. And here you can see we have our product name, and underneath that, what do you want to do? We just want to get the product description. So I'm going to write like padding, or not padding, but margin for the y-axis will be set to 4. And now let's just take care of the extra large screen. For the extra large, the width will be just 35 rem. For the large screen, the width will be the width will be 35 rem as well. And for the medium screen, the width will be just 30 rem would be fine. Now let's just change the text color. So I'm going to just change the text color to, first of all, I'm going to provide a pound, then we have provide B0, B0, B0. Okay, and now let's just render or product.description, description. So now let's just save that. And here you can see we have a lot of description right here. You know what? Yeah, that's a lot of description. I'm gonna just change that a bit later, or let's just do that right away. I'm gonna go ahead and do that a bit fast. First of all, let's just render the other stuff, and then we will take care of that. So I guess that will be fine. Okay, so now let me just write a paragraph, and inside this paragraph we are going to be just writing product.price, and let's just provide a little bit of classes to it. So class name will be text 5 extra large, and margin for the y-axis will be 4. Font will be extra bold, and yeah, I guess that would be it. So now let's just save that. And here you can see we have our price right here, but I forgot to put a $sign. So now let me just put that, and here you can see that's looking amazing. Underneath this paragraph, what do we have to do? First of all, you wanted to create that flex and item center, justify between, and also the width will be some sort of 20 rems. And now inside there, we're going to be creating one div with a class of 1. Doesn't even matter, you can provide some, you don't even have to provide anything. So now I'm going to just write h1 with class of flex, and items will be totally center, and margin for the bottom I'm going to provide 6 to it. And let's just render our fa store, and I guess I'm going to have to close it like that. Let's just provide a class name of margin for the right of 2, and text will be set to totally white, and provide a brand. Okay, so what is going to be the brand? The brand is going to be just the, what do we call it, the product.brand. So now let me just save that and check it out, and here you can see we are getting it, but I don't need to provide any spaces to it. Okay, so you know what, we have to specify the space right here, but they are not aligned. So items, items center. So now let's just save that, and that's looking amazing. I guess I have to duplicate this line of code a few times. So one will be for the clock, one will be for the star, and I guess that will be it. So now let me just change that to not this one, but this one to the clock, and also change this one to the moment.js, and also inside there we're going to be using the product and created add from now. And now let's just execute that. And here instead of brand we are going to be using added, and I guess that would do it. Underneath that we are going to be also creating our reviews and fa star. Okay, and then we need our number of reviews, num review's, but here, yeah, we are using this product right here. So now let me just save that, and that's looking amazing too right here. So this is the div 1 right here. Underneath this div we have to create a div 2. So I'm going to just create div 2 right here, and I'm going to write h1 with a class of flex and also items of center, and also margin for the bottom 6 right here. And I'm gonna just render fa star with the class name of margin for the right of 2, and also the text will be set to totally white. Now let's just close that right here and provide a ratings, and here we just have to render our ratings right here. Okay, or rating. Let me just save this file, and here you can see we are getting our ratings right here. That's looking amazing. And what I want to do is that I'm going to just duplicate that 3 times or 2 times and change this one to FA shopping cart, and this one will be quantity, so quantity, and we are going to be just providing that product dot quantity. There we go. And also instead of writing fa star, we are going to be changing that to fa box, and here we just have to write what do we call it, product, and then count in stock. Okay, and let's just remove that ratings and replace it with in stock. Okay, so I'm going to just save this file, and here you can see we aren't getting there, but that's looking awful. So we have to provide a little bit of spacing into, or not space, but the width into it. So the width will be, I don't know, 10 rims would be fine. Save file, and that's looking better. But what happened to this clock? Let's just provide the margin, or not margin, but the width of 10 rims to this one as well. Rim, save file. Maybe I'm gonna make it 20. And I guess that's looking better. That's totally looking better. Okay, underneath both of these two divs, what do you have to do? So I'm thinking of creating a separate component, but you know what, we would do that in a few seconds. So now let me just write a div. Underneath both of these divs right here, we just have to create one separate div with a class of flex, and also the justify will be set to between, and the flex will be set to wrap. And here we have to write our ratings component. So now let me just save them, and now let's just go ahead and create the ratings component right here. So inside these products, let me just create a ratings.jsx. I'm going to use the RFCE, and let's just get into it. So the first thing which we need is that we need the fa reg star, and we also need the fa star. We also need the fa star half alt from the React icons, and we especially inside the fa folder. And we also want to destructure a few things which we are going to be providing right here. So now, you know what, let me just uncomment that, and now let me just execute that right here, or call that, whatever you want to call that. And I'm going to provide the value, and for the value we are going to be providing the product rating, and also I'm going to provide a text right here, and here the text will be, first of all, go to the product and check the number of reviews, and then just render like reviews right here. So I'm going to just save that, and we want to get the like auto complete, and it will auto complete it for me. So now let me just save that, and we want to destructure a few things. The first thing which I want to destructure is a value, then we want to destructure the text, and also we want to destructure the color as well. Okay, so what I want to do is that here we just want to get a full star. For the full star, it will be mat.floor, and we want to provide the value right here. And also for the half star, what do you want to do? We just want to change that to like value minus full star, and let's just check is 0.5 greater than 0.5, and if that's the case, so we just want to get 1. If that's not the case, so we just want to get 0. And now let's just provide for the empty star. For the empty star, we are going to be checking 5, and we just want to minus the full star, and also we want to minus the half star as well. Okay, so half stars plural, half, oh, you know, half star, yeah, or yeah, half stars would be fine. I guess that's fine too. And this one should also be stars plural. Okay, so I'm gonna just specify s at the end right here. Okay, so that's the case. The next thing which you have to do is that we have to write a JSX for that. Okay, so I'm going to first of all provide a class names of flank, and also the items will be set to center. And now inside there, we are going to be iterating over through all of that stuff. Or you know what, I'm going to just write dot 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 of array, and here we have to specify the full star first of all, and we just want to iterate over through that. So I'm going to use like map method. For this map method, we don't need anything, like we don't want to iterate over through anything, and we just need the index right here. Okay, so here what do we have to do? We just have to iterate over through that, and we just wanted to get the index, and now inside there we are going to be just writing fa star, and here we have to specify the key of that index which we are getting right here. And I'm going to also provide a class name of text, and it will be equals to this color right here. Okay, and I'm going to also provide a margin for the left of 1. And now let's just close our icon right here. So that was it for the full star. Now let me just take care of the half star right here. Half star is equal to 1. And what do you want to do? We just want to render our fa star half alt right here, and I'm gonna close that right away. And now let's just provide our class name to it. So the class name, I'm going to specify the class name of text, and also we're going to be rendering this color which we are destructuring right here, and I'm going to also provide a margin for the left of totally 1. So underneath that we are going to be just copying that. Now let me just copy that, place it right here, and instead of writing a full star we are going to be just writing the empty star. We are mapping through every single thing, and instead of writing this star we are going to be just writing fa reg star like so, and everything else should be the same. And finally let's just provide our span right here. So span with the class name of let me just write dynamic classes like rating text, and also the margin left we are going to be specifying like 2rem. And yeah, also let's just specify the color right here as well. And here we just have to render our text right here. So text and text, and I guess that would do it. So now let's just use that right here and check it out. Here you can see we are getting 0 reviews and also 5 stars right here. So the user did not specify any review right here, that's why we are not getting anything. So no stars, nothing. But before we getting into that, I also want to provide a default color to it. So now let me just go back, and I'm gonna also provide default color right here. So I'm gonna write like rating dot default props, and it will be now equals to the color of yellow. 500 would be fine. So now if I save that, oh, we still would not be able to see anything. That's because we did not provide any review right here. So now let me just save that. Now underneath this ratings component, what do we have to do? We just have to write product dot count in stock is greater than 0. So what do you want to do? We just want to render this content right here, which will be div, and we are not going to be providing any classes to it. So now let's just close that div right away. Okay, so now inside there we are going to be providing a select menu, and for this select menu it will take a few things, but I'm going to just close it right here. And it will take a few things like value, and the value we are going to be specifying the quantity. And also on change, what do you want to do on change? We just want to provide our event and also the set quantity of e.target.value. I'm going to also provide a classes to it. So the class name will be padding all around will be set to 2, and width will be 6 rems, and also totally rounded large, and I'm going to change that to text totally black. Okay, and now inside there what do we have to do? Let me just save that so that we can see everything a bit better. And inside this select menu, what do we have to do? We just have to write our dot array. Inside this array we are going to be getting our product and count in stock. There we go. And let's just get the keys from it. So I'm going to just write keys. Now let's just iterate over through this entire thing. So I'm going to just write x. Let's just write it inside this parenthesis, and I'm going to just provide an option based on that. Okay, so let's just render our option, and inside this option what do you have to do? We just have to specify the key and x plus 1 in this case, and also for the value we are going to be providing x plus 1 right here. For this x is this value which we are specifying right here. You can give any name you want if you want to, whatever you want. So I'm going to just write x plus 1 right here in this case. So now let me just save that. And here we should get this drop down menu right here. So we have all of these quantities right here, so we can choose whichever we want right here. So we have 125 categories, not categories but quantities right here. Okay, so that's that. Now the next thing which I want to do is that underneath this div I'm going to create a button which will say add to cart, but we're not going to be taking care of add to cart, not in this video but in the next one. So I'm going to just write btn container, and now let me just write a button, and for this button we will also attach the on click handler, and we will say like add to cart, but not right now. Okay, and we are going to be disabling this button, disable. We are going to be disabling the button if the product.count in stock is equal to 0. So if you don't have any products inside our account or inside our database, so it will just be disabled. So now I'm going to also provide a class name of what? I'm going to provide a bg of totally pink, and also bg pink will be 600, and text will be set to totally white, and padding for the y-axis will be set to 2, padding for the x-axis will be set to 4, totally rounded large, and also margin for the top will be set to 4, and for the medium screen margin for the top will be set to 0. Okay, and it will say as a label like add to cart. I'm going to save this button, and we are going to be getting this error. That's because we attach event listener, which we didn't create yet. So now let me just refresh that, and here you can see we are getting our add to cart button right here, and that's looking amazing. Underneath both of these divs, what do we have to do? We just have to create one more div with a class of margin for the top of 5 rems. Okay, and let's just provide a container flex, and flex will be wrap, and items will be start, and also justify will be between. Save my file, and now inside there, what we have to do, I am going to also provide a margin for the left of 10 rems. Okay, now let me just save that, and now inside there, what do you have to do? We are going to be rendering the product tabs right here. Okay, so now let me just create that product tabs component right here inside this products component, inside this products file. So we have a products or product tabs.jsx. Instead of giving it that name, oh yeah, that would be fine. That would be fine. I was just changing the name to like just products, but that would be fine. So now let me just get into it. The first thing which we would need for the tabs is the use stat, not use selector, but use stat. And also we would get a link from the React router DOM, and also we need our ratings right here. So ratings, and we also wanted to get our something from the Redux side. So we are going to be going into the Redux first of all, and then we want to go to the API and then product API slice, and we just wanted to get or use get top products query from it. Okay, and we also want to import the small product duct from where? From our small product right here. So now I'm going to save this file, and the next thing which I want to do is that I also wanted to get a loader. I forgot to do that, and now let me just save this file, and we are not going to be seeing anything because we didn't use that. Okay, so I'm going to just uncomment this line out, and I'm going to use this product tabs right here, but we are going to have to provide a lot of things to it. So the first thing which I wanted to provide is a loading product review, and it will be now equals to the loading product review right here, and I'm going to also provide the user info, and it will be equals to the user info. And next, let's just save that, and next we have to also provide the submit handler, and it will be equals to the submit handler like so. And also I'm going to provide a rating, and rating will be equals to the rating, okay, like that. And I'm going to also provide a set rating, and the set rating will be equals to the set rating. Set rating. And I'm going to also provide the comment, and the comment will be equals to the comment, and set comment will be also equals to the set comment right here. And for the product, we are going to be just writing the product right here. Okay, so that's that, but we have to take care of this submit handler. We're going to do that in a few seconds. So now let me just save that, and now let me just go ahead. Submit handler is not defined. Oh god damn it, what the hell is happening into my keyboard? So I'm going to just have to comment this line out and refresh, and now let's just take care of that product tabs right here. So before getting any further, first of all we have to destructure our loading product review REVIEW, and also the user info submit handler, which we are going to be doing in a few seconds, rating, and also the set rating comment, and set comment, also the product right here itself. So now let me just save there, and we are now destructuring every single thing totally successfully. So now what I want to do is I wanted to get the data, and is loading from where? From or use get top products right here. And now let me just execute that, and the next thing which we want to do is that we are going to be creating a tab. So for that we are going to need a stat right here for the active tab, and also for the set active tab. and it will be equals to the use stat, and initially we're going to be specifying 1 to it. Okay, so that's that. Now let's just check if the product is loading. So what do you want to do? We just want to return the loader. There we go. And now let's just close that right here. Now let me just write all of that JSX for this product right here. So the first thing which I want to do is that I'm gonna just write a class name, and let me provide a flex, and flex will be set to column, and for the medium screen we are going to be just writing flex of row. And now inside there we're going to be creating a section with a class of margin for the right of 5 rem, and inside this section we are going to be also creating a div with a class of something weird. Now let me just create a div, and inside this div we are going to be providing a classes, but I'm going to remove that and provide our conditional classes right here. So flex 1, and also padding will be set to 4, cursor will be pointer, and also the text will be totally set to large. And let's just provide our active tabs. If the active tab is equal to 1, so in that regard we are going to be just specifying the font of bold, and if that's not the case we are going to be just specifying the empty string right here. Okay, on click, so what do you want to do for the on click? We just want to write our arrow function and then handle tab click right here, and we are going to be just specifying 1 to it. So now let me just go back one time and just write like write your review. Okay, and now let's just save this file, and we are now getting write your review right here. If I click on it, nothing is gonna happen. Handle tab click, we're gonna take care of this handle tab click in a few seconds. But now underneath that, what do we have to do? Not here, but underneath this div, what do we have to do? We just have to you know what, let's just duplicate that. I'm gonna duplicate that 2 times, so let's just duplicate it 1 and 2, and I'm gonna just change this one to 2 and change this one to 2 as well, and it will say like I don't know, all reviews. And also this one will be set to 3, and this one should also be set to 3 as well. So this one will say as a label related products or something like that. So now let me just save that, and here you can see we are getting all of these labels right here, but if I click on them nothing is gonna happen right now. Okay, so that's that. Let me just take care of this handle tab click right here. So now underneath this is loading. What do you have to do? We just have to create our const handle click or handle tab click, and we are going to be just specifying the tab number, and it will be now equals to this arrow function, and we are going to be just writing set active tabs and the tab number inside there, and that's it. That's all what we have to do. And now if I save that, and now if I click on it, so here you can see it will highlight this one and not this one. So if I click on each of them, so it will just highlight it like so, and that's looking amazing too. So that's that. Now underneath this divs, or not even in a div, underneath this whole section, we have to first of all write our second part. Okay, second part of this section. So we're going to be just writing section, and inside this section we are going to be just writing active tab. If active tab is equal to 1, so just print this content right here. But first of all, let's just see if active tab is equal to 1, like this one. So what do you want to do? We just want to write a review. So now let's just write JSX for that, creating a review. So I'm going to just write div with a class of margin top of 4, and now inside there we're going to check the user info if we have the user info. So now let's just provide this content right here. So first of all we are going to be creating a form. So let's just create our form, open and close there, and on submit of that form, so we are going to be submitting this form, and we're going to be just passing a submit handler to it. And also I'm going to provide a margin for the y-axis of 2, and inside there we're going to be creating a label of, you know what, the HTML4 will be set to just a rating, and I'm going to also specify the class name of block, and also the text will be extra large, and also the margin for the bottom will be set to 2 and ratings. Or if that's not the case, so let's just provide this second clause, and we would just say like, I don't know, paragraph. Let me just write a paragraph and close that, and it will say like please, and let's just provide our link right here and close this link as well, and it will go to the login, and we would just say like sign or just sign in like so, to write a review. Okay, so now let me just save that, and here you can see we are getting our ratings right here. That's because we are providing our rating right here. So if you didn't let's suppose if I just copy that and place it right here where I didn't log in, and here you can see it will now give us like please sign in to write a review right here. So if I click on this sign in, it will now brings us to this login screen right here. Underneath this label we have to create or select. So I'm going to just create or select right here, and I'm going to remove the name and also the ID to it, or you know what, we have to leave that ID, and I'm going to just provide a rating as ID, and it will be required. And also I'm going to provide a value of rating to it. Then on change we are going to be providing the event object and then set rating, and here we have to just specify the e.target.value right here. Okay, and I'm going to also specify a few classes to it. So let's just provide a class name. Oh, we are doing it in the wrong place, so now let's just cut that from here and put it right here like so. And the class name, I'm going to provide the padding all around will be set to 2, and border, I'm going to provide a border totally rounded large, and also for the extra large we are going to be providing the width of 40 rems, and also I'm going to provide a text of totally black to it. And inside this select menu, what do we have to do? We just have to specify a few options. So for the option 1 we are not going to be providing anything, and it will just say like select, and I'm going to just duplicate that a few times. So that for the option 2 we are going to be providing 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, because we have a 5 stars, so we just have to provide 5 of them. So I'm going to just write inferior and also decent and great, and we have excellent, and we have the final one exceptional. Now let me just save that, and here you can see we have our ratings component right here. So we have inferior, decent, great, excellent and exceptional. Amazing. So yeah, that's looking amazing too. The next thing which we have to do is that underneath this div we just want to create one more div with a class of margin for the y-axis of set to 2, and I'm going to just write a label. So the label, and for the HTML4 we are going to be just writing a comment, and I'm going to also specify the class name of block and text of totally extra large, and margin for the bottom will be set to 2, and inside there we're going to be just saying like comment, save our file. And now here we have to specify our actual comment. So now underneath this label we just have to write our text area, and we are not going to be providing any of that, or we will, but let's just do that manually. So I'm going to write ID of comment, and also the rows will be set to 3 in this case, and also it will be required value. I'm going to provide a comment, and on change we are going to be just writing the event object, and we are going to be providing the is set comment e.target.value. Let me also provide a class name through it. So I'm going to write a padding for all around, to border around it large and extra large, and provide the width of 40 rems on the extra large, and text of totally black right here. So I'm going to save this file, and now inside this text area we are not going to be providing anything. But now let's just see. Here you can see we have our text area, and that's looking amazing. Alright, so now underneath this text area what do we have to do? Or even in this div, underneath this div we just have to provide our button, come on, and inside this button we just have to provide a type of submit to it, and also the disable stat. For the disable stat we have to specify the loading product review right here, and we also have to specify a few classes right here like class, and the class name I'm going to provide a bg of pink 600, and also the text will be set to totally white, and padding for the y-axis will be set to 2, and padding for the x-axis will be set to 4, totally rounded large. And now inside as a label we are going to be just writing submit. Okay, and that's it, baby. So now let's just save that, and here you can see we have our submit right here. So now if you just I don't know, if I just select that and provide a grade right here, grade product, and if I click on this submit, and it will just refresh my browser because we didn't create our submit handler, or what do we call it, this submit handler. There we go. So we will take care of that in a few seconds, but this was the first part right here. Where in the what is that? This was the second part right here. So now let's just take care of the rest of them, like the active 2 and also the active 3. So now let's just take care of them, and I promise they won't be that much long as this one, but they will be section 2 and section 3. I just realized that instead of going into their section 3 like the active tab of 2, I want to go ahead and first of all create this submit handler right here. So now let's just copy the name, and I'm going to go to the top, and here we have to use or create or submit handler right here. So what do you want to do? We just want to create or submit handler, and it will be an async function. You just have to specify your event object to it, and event.prevent default, and now let's just execute them. Now let me just use my try and catch blocks. For the catch block, we are going to be just writing toast.error, and I'm going to just say like if we have some sort of error, so we just want to get the data from it, and if we have some sort of a data, we wanted to get the message. Otherwise, we just want to get error.message right here. Okay, so that's looking cool. The next thing which we have to do is that we have to use like await and create review, and inside there we are going to be just specifying the product ID and also the rating and also the comment right here. So we just have to specify these three things to it, and let's just use the unwrap and execute that. And we are going to be also refetching, so refetch and execute this one, and also let's just pass a toast of success to it, so toast of success, and I'm going to just use like review created successfully. There we go. So now let me just save that and refresh, and I want to provide a review to this specific product, like I don't know, maybe excellent would be fine. Amazing product of come on, all time or something like that. I'm going to click on this submit right here, and here you can see we are getting one review. We are getting 4 stars right here, and here you can also see the star count right here, and you also saw that toast, so which means like everything is working totally correctly. But now if I click on the all reviews, so we are not getting any reviews right here. So now let's just render that one review which we specified right here. So we are going to be getting the review name, and I mean like the person name and the comment and all of that. So now I'm going to go ahead and go to the tabs and create the second part. So underneath this div, what do we have to do? We just have to write a section, and inside this section we just have to write an active tab, and if active tab is equal to 2, then render this content right here. So I'm gonna just write a div, and inside this div, what do we have to do? We just have to write our product dot reviews dot you know what, let me just write length length is equal to 0 is is equal to 0. So what do you want to do? And just render this content like paragraph of no reviews right here. So currently it will give us the result of that. So now let me just save that, and here we have to get there. Let's just click on the all reviews. Why it's not working? REVIEWS. I don't know why it's not working. Oh, that's because we do provide one review right here. That's why we are not getting anything. So if I change that to 1, save my file, and it will give us like no reviews right here. But we are not interested in 1, we are just interested in 0 right here. Okay, so that's that. Now the next thing which I want to do is that I'm going to create a div, and inside this div we want to iterate over through all of the product. So product.reviews.map. So let's just iterate over through all of that, and I'm going to just put reviews right here, or review would be fine as singular. And I don't know why in the world we are getting this nasty error right here. Must have one parent, so let's just wrap that in a fragment right here. Let me just wrap that in the fragment, cut that, place it right here, save my file, and now inside there, what do you want to do? We just want to create one div right here, and inside this div, let's just close that. And inside this div, first of all, we have to specify the key, and the key will be review, and here we have to specify the ID right here. And also I'm going to provide a class name, and the class name will be bg of what do we call it, 1a 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 3 times. Okay, and padding all around will be set to 4, totally rounded, large, and also for the extra large we are going to be writing the margin for the left, and it will be equals to 2 rem right here. I'm going to also do it for the small screen, and I'm going to provide a margin for the left of 0 rem. Let me just provide an extra large. For the extra large we want to provide a width of 50 rems. For the small screen size we want to provide a width of 24 rems. And for the margin bottom I'm going to provide a 5 right here, and that's it. So now let me just save that. Let's just go back, and inside this div we just have to use our flex, and justify will be set to between. And now inside this justify between we have to write our strong tag. So strong, and we are going to be providing a text of this color right here. So we have b0, b0, b0 three times, and here we just have to get the review dot name right here. So now let me just save that, and here you can see we are getting this person name right here who did that commit, or not commit, but that review. Underneath that we have to also provide paragraph. So I'm going to just provide a paragraph, and it will select text of that same color. So we are going to be just using like b0, b0, b0 three times. And now inside that we just have to write our review dot created add, and then use our substring, and here we just have to specify 0 and 10. So now let me just save that, and here you can see we are getting this time right here when this review was happening. And underneath this div we just need a few other things. So I'm going to just write a paragraph with a class of margin for the y-axis of 4, and we just need our review dot comment, and also we just need our rating. So I'm going to write rating, and we just have to specify the value to it. So the value will be review dot rating. And now let me just close that. So now let me just save my file, and here you can see we are getting the comment, and we are also getting these review right here, these stars right here. Okay, that's amazing. So now let's just take care of these related products right here. So now underneath this section we just have to create the final section. So I'm going to create a final section, and here we just have to use the active tab is equal to 3. So what do you want to do? We just want to render this content right here. Let me provide a section, and come on, let's just do that section, and also close this section. And I'm going to provide a class name of margin for the left. We are going to be providing a foreign, and I'm going to also provide a flex, and flex will be set to wrap. And now inside there we're going to be checking if we don't have any data. So what do you want to do? We just want to provide a loader right here and close that. But if we have a data, so then we just have to iterate over through that data. Let me just provide a product right here, and based on that data we just want to provide a div, and here let me provide a key of product dot id right here, and based on that data we are going to be just providing the small product right here, and it will take the props of product. And now let me just close that. So now let me just save this file, and now let's just check it out. So here you can see we have these related products right here, and we also have this all reviews. So if I click on that, it will give us all of the reviews, when that review happened, who did that review, and how is it, like is it good or bad. So I'm going to log in as other person. So I'm going to log out first of all, and let's just see how many users I have inside my database. So now let me just connect that and go to HuXn store, check out the users. So we have Joe Goldberg. So I'm going to log in as a Joe Goldberg. So I'm going to just write Joe, come on, Joe at gmail.com, and it will be Joe123. Click on sign in, and it will just log in as their Joe Goldberg right here. And here you can see we are logging in as a Joe Goldberg. So I'm going to just click on this camera. So now if I click on all reviews, so it will give us like no review. If I click on that and select inferior and say like this is the awful camera ever or something like that, and click on the submit, so it should add that review. So let me just right click on them and go to inspect area, and wow, it is giving us a beautiful error. So let me just fix that. And guess what was the problem? So if I just right click on them and go to inspect element and go to the network panel right here, and if I try to do that review, and here you can see we are getting this error, and it is saying like not authorized as an admin, which means like we gotta go to the product routes inside a backend. Okay, so here you can see we need to authenticate to do or review, but we don't have to authorize as an admin. So I'm gonna just remove that, and let's just save our file. And now if I just refresh everything, and now let me just write a review like inferior, this is one of the awful camera of all time right here, and click on the submit, and here you can see review created successfully. Okay, so if I click on all reviews, so here you can see 1 star, and this review when it was created, and who created that review, and related products. So here you can see we have all of these related products right here. Click on that right review one more time, and that's it. That was just a small error which we had inside our product routes right here. I was suspicious about that, but then I realized, like, you know what, admin should only do the review. So that was a silly mistake which I made. Anyways, so yeah, now we can get a specific product and all of the details about a specific product. Next, what we are going to be doing is that we are going to be taking care of add to cart, which you can see right here, and also add to shop. Not add to shop, but inside the shop we are going to be doing a lot of filtering, like filter a specific category, a specific product, and also a specific input and also a specific price and all of that. Okay, so that will be a lot of fun. See you in the next one. I already closed the video and wrapped every single thing up, but then I realized that I have a small issue in my app right now. So currently I already did a review right here. So here you can see I just provided this awful review, and here you can also see this Joe Goldberg, and I logged in as a Joe Goldberg one more time. And now if I try to do a review one more time, so let's suppose if I want to, like, I don't know, do a review like excellent, and this is the most amazing product of all time or something like that. And now if I click on that, but first of all let me just show you this console right here. If I click on this submit button, here you can see it will now give us like product is already received right here, or reviewed. Not received, but product already reviewed right here, but we are not getting any toast or nothing like that. If I right click on him and go to inspect area and then check the console, so here you can see it will now give us like fail to load and resource and blah blah blah. And here you can also see like we are getting this error from our Redux toolkit. So now let me just close that right here. And the thing which I want to do is that I wanted to just provide that toast right here. So we don't need this message, so I'm going to just remove this message from here. And now let me just save that. And now if I try to do that review one more time, so here you can see everything is excellent, but if I click on this submit one more time, and here you can see we are now getting like product already reviewed, and we cannot review that one more time. If you wanted to review that, we gotta log in as someone else, like, I don't know, let's just log out, and I'm gonna log in as, I don't know, HuXn. Yeah, I'm gonna just log in as HuXn, and I'm gonna just do HuXn 123. Okay, so then I'm gonna have to go into this product, and now here you can see we have this Joe Goldberg review right here. If I want to provide my own review, so I'm going to just click on that and provide exceptional and wonderful or something like that. And let me just right click on that and wonderful and click on this submit. And here you can see our review is successfully added right here. If you click on this all reviews, so here you can see our wonderful and all-star review added. If I try to do one more time, so let me just go ahead and do, I don't know, great and meh, great product or something like that. And now if I click on this submit, it will now give us this error. It will say like product already reviewed. All right, so that was a lot of talking. So yeah, there was a lot of talking and a lot of mistakes. So see you in the next one. Bye bye.